Hello and welcome to the Valentine's Day edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I have to tell you, we've had so many submissions that were appropriate for today or designed especially for today. But the one that we've had the most recommendations for is this one, and it's by Marty Sears, and I think it's a pretty new puzzle. And I'm not even sure that it's strictly about Valentine's Day. It's called Split Ends. It's got the most brilliant rule set. It's got blonde lines here and brunette lines going north, and something about the digits at the start of the rows or end of the rows have to be some sort of hang on, let me even understand this. Each horizontal blonde line sums to a 2-digit number. These 2 digits are at the start and end of its row. So those 2 numbers there. Oh, I see. So if that was like 25, if the green cells were 25, then the blonde line would add up to 25. Or if the green cells were 2 and 5, the blonde line would sum to either 25 or 52. For reasons that will be obvious, one of those is possible, the other isn't. Anyway, this is apparently the one that I should be doing today. So I will give it a go. I think it's got 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty. I'm not even sure there are any romantic implications around split ends, but never mind. I hope that you've all got the cards that you were expecting, and perhaps even some that you weren't expecting today. Now, before we read the rules properly, what else can I tell you about? I will mention that I have scheduled the Blueprints stream for Monday night, so Mark and I can both do it on Monday. So if you've been following our adventures in that incredible game, they should continue on Monday night. So love to see you there. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. There's a viewer solve video coming out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. UK time. Beatrice and I did battle with a puzzle by Cornish John, and a very, very brilliant puzzle it was too. So if you've enjoyed the series of videos we've made where I've got to solve with a viewer, then that might be something you would enjoy. Say that's coming out tomorrow morning. And if you'd like to be in one of those videos, just get cracking on the Duality 3 competition, which is over on Patreon right now. 19 puzzles in all by the Skunk Works. It's a fantastic collection of puzzles that's had a lot of kudos from some very fine puzzlers. So really terrific work from the Skunk Works, and so much thanks to all of them for creating such a great pack. Now, I've also got sort of birthdays, Valentine's Day announcements to do today, so let's have a look at those. Elise, I think this is your birthday. You've turned 23 today. I know this because your partner Matthias wrote to me. He told, I think I might have done this announcement the other way round to Matthias from Elise a couple of weeks ago. But Elise, I know you're a lab technician and you're studying slime mold behaviour. That reminds me, didn't I do a puzzle by GDC that involved some sort of mold spreading? It was something like that. Anyway, Elise, he is very grateful. Matthias is very grateful that you're in his life, and he's looking forward to lots more adventures with you and many, many happy returns. I hope the chocolate cake is very fine today. Next, Holly. Holly, you turned 16 a few days ago, but I'm doing the announcement today because I only knew today that I was meant to do it. And you were asking for some advice on the correct cake to have on your birthday, and the choice given, which was absolutely correct, by the way, was chocolate or lemon. Both of those cakes are my favourite. Well, my favourite is chocolate, and chocolate is the best. So the answer to your question is you should have chocolate cake, but it needs to be very heavily iced. But lemon cake, I have got a soft spot for that. Lemon drizzle cake, especially if the end pieces of lemon drizzle cake, which seem to, for some reason, collect the most icing, and especially if they're slightly burnt, the edge pieces. But I'm going to get hungry now. Anyway, Holly, many happy returns. I should stop wibbling, shouldn't I? Stephanie, it's not your birthday, but your boyfriend Paul wanted me to say happy Valentine's Day to you. He loves you very much. I know the two of you watch the channel while having meals, I think, maybe at lunch or dinner. And you both love chocolate cake, which I'm delighted to hear. So to Stephanie and Paul, happy Valentine's Day. And then another Valentine's Day announcement to Jess. Jess, from your boyfriend Philip. It could be Philippe, actually. It's difficult to know sometimes whether it's a Philippe or a Philip. But this is your 5th anniversary today. So that's a lovely thing. And Jess, I hope you get some cake to celebrate. And of course, I hope it's either chocolate or lemon, but probably chocolate. And that's all the news. Let's have a look at the rule. We'll do the rules properly of Split Ends by Marty Sears. I only did a Marty Sears puzzle. I did the latest Rat Run puzzle. I think it was a couple of days ago. But Marty is so good. You basically know if it has the name Marty Sears, it's like the mark of quality. It's like calling an egg Fabergé. You basically know it's going to be awesome. And the rules of this one are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 blocks. 3 by 3 blocks. Box even. Each horizontal blonde line sums to a 2-digit number. These 2 digits are at the start and the end of its row in some order. So this is what we said before. Those 2 digits, if they were 2 and 5, this line, I think, would either add up to 52 or 25, is how I'm reading that rule. I hope I haven't got that wrong. Each vertical brunette line also sums to a 2-digit number. And these 2 digits are at the top and bottom of its column in some order. Right, so if we did the same here, we'd be looking at these cells, and I don't think a 20 number's going to break the secret into little pieces, and they wouldn't be very digestible. So let's make this, I don't know, 14. Is that possible? It might be. I don't know. 14 or 41. So each of the brunette lines would sum to either 14 or 41. I know which of those I would think was favourite. And there is no possibility to scroll. So those are the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. It's been an extraordinary week of puzzles again, by the way. I mean, if you enjoy puzzles, this week we had Forcing by Cactus Love, which was unbelievable. I really liked yesterday's Area 51. We had Marty's 25th episode of Rat Run, to name but a few. Right, how do we do? Oh, so we must use the secret, do we? Yes, okay. So now, I'm going to share a secret with you. It's a secret I share with only my very favourite people. But of course, if you're watching this video, you're one of my favourite people. If I knew you, I could send you a Valentine's card. The secret is that a complete column, or indeed a complete row of a Sudoku, contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. If we sum those digits, we get 45. That is the secret. So this blonde line and this brunette line do sum to 45, which means that we've got to put the digits 4 and 5 at the start and end of the rows and columns involved. Okay, well that's something, isn't it? It's a bit weird, this, actually. Where are we meant to go? Are we meant to do sort of weird arithmetic? Yeah, there's a slight weird arithmetic going on in this row, isn't there? Oh, golly, how do we do this? Like, if I labelled this X, I was going to try and do a big X. I failed miserably. Let's try and do big X and that big Y. I don't know which of these is the sort of tens digit that this line would sum to. but one of them is the tens digit, so let's just say it's x. Then the whole row can be expressed arithmetically. We know that the blonde line will sum to 10x plus y, don't we? Because if this was, I don't know, how long is this line? It's a length 7 line. So the triangular number for 7 is 28. So if this line did add to 28, one of these would be 2, one of these would be 8. And so to express mathematically the sum 28 from the digits 2 and 8, we would multiply the 2 by 10, so 10x, and we'd multiply the y or the 8 by 1. So it would just become 10x plus y would be the sum of the yellow or the blonde line. So the row must sum to 11x plus 2y, which is, well, okay, that tells us that the tens digit is a 3, actually, which is quite weird. Because, and that's using the secret and a bit of parity. Because imagine, if we think about 11x plus 2y, which we've said is the accurate expression of that entire row. Now, if we times 11x by 2, that's an even number, and 2y is always going to be even. So that would be saying that the whole row sums to an even number, which we know it doesn't, because we know that this row sums to a secret number, which is 45. It's an odd number. So we know the tens digit is going to have to be an odd, and it can't be a 1, because we can't make this line, which is 7 cells long, only sum up to a teenage number. So we know it's adding up to a 30-something number. It can't add up to a 50-something number. So we now know that this row is, the equation for the row is going to be 11x, where x is 3, so that's 33 plus 2y, which is going to have to equal 12 to make the row add up to 45. So y is equal to 6. So the row, okay, so x and y are 3 and 6. Let's put that in. Now, that makes sense. Yes, it does make sense, because 36 plus 3 plus 6 is 45. So that does suggest the maths is right. Now, I don't know if we could do the same for that one. That feels more complicated because we haven't just got one line there. Let's just think about that. Oh, I wanted to put x and y in again. X and y. So how does this work? I tell you what's terrifying about this row, especially as we're dealing with Marty Sears, who is a creature not knowingly uncomplicated. If Marty can find a way to do the most bizarre thing, Marty will do the most bizarre thing. So imagine, I'm just going to say numbers here that might not work, but imagine that x and y were 2 and 1. Then is it possible one of these lines sums to 21 and the other sums to 12? I mean, I know that doesn't work because the row won't add up. But is it possible the tens digits are the wrong, you use x as a tens digit for one line, but x as the units digit for the other line? Because that, according to the rules, I think, would be valid. So how do we think about this row then? Maybe we can't think about it. I don't know, actually. I don't fancy doing the arithmetic on that, because I really don't know whether Marty's done us some mischief there. How? Okay, maybe we could. Okay, there must. this might be true. I think there must be a 1 in one of these cells. Probably. And the reason I think that is, either these are, you know, a number like 15, or one of them is a number like 15 and the other one, well, 15 won't work, but one of them is a number like 12 and the other is a number like 21. But you can't make both of them be bigger than 21. You could make that one 21 and that one, this is probably what it is actually. You could make that one 21 and that one 21. That would work, and that 21 plus 21 is 42, which would make this a 1-2 pair. So this is probably right. But you couldn't, for example, go any higher than that, because they couldn't both be, say, a 23 or a 22. You couldn't do 22 in those two cells. That you'd repeat the 2. You couldn't do 23 in those two cells. So at least either these are both teenage numbers, or one of them is a teenage number and the other couldn't be greater than 20. I just don't think... Yeah, no, either they're both teenage numbers or they're both 21, I think. I don't think anything else is possible, because if one of them is higher than 21, the other is unexpressible. Unless, no, I was thinking 31 and 13, but that won't work, because then the lines would add up to 44, and these would have to add up to 1, which won't work. Yeah, so either they're both 21, which is what I think is now going to happen, or they're both teenage numbers, but either way, one of those is a 1. I mean, this is not sensible, actually. I'm not even going to pencil mark it. It's so silly. Okay, so how do we... hang on. I am going to pencil mark it now, because I've just noticed something else. So what I've just claimed, I think legitimately, is that one of these digits here is a 1. Oh my goodness, what? That's a weird. Isn't that strange? It must be the way the line's drawn or something. It's sort of a weird flashing. Okay, but I've said one of these is a 1, because either they're 21, in which case one of them's a 1, or they're two teenage numbers. Now, look at these dominoes. They can't add up to a single digit total, because we know that whatever this adds up to is a 2-digit number. And I can't write 0, 8 or something like that into those, because 0 is not a Sudoku number. But you can't make a domino add up to 20-something. 9 and 8 only adds up to 17, so one of these is also a 1. And now, well, that's sort of an X-wing on 1s. What do I mean by an X-wing? I mean that because there's a 1 in one of these two cells, the way to understand an X-wing is to think about these two columns. By the way, let me just explain this quickly. And I'm going to ask a facetious question. How many 1s are there? If we correctly complete this puzzle, how many 1s are there in column 1? You're going to tell me there's 1. I agree. How many 1s are there in column 9? There's 1. So we know that these green cells altogether contain 2 1s. If we correctly complete the puzzle, 1 in this column and 1 in this column. But how many 1s are there in the purple cells? Well, we've just said there's 1 1 in one of those purples in row 4, and there's 1 1 in one of those purples in row 5. So there are 2 1s in those purple cells, and yet green contains 2 1s overall. So what do we know about every other cell in green? We know that there are no 1s in any of these cells. Because if there were 1s in those cells, there would be at least 3 1s in 2 columns of the grid, and that will break Sudoku. So what we can say Well, that probably is huge, isn't it? Because, for example, now this can't be. This is at least a 20 line, because 1 can't go in either of those cells. It's less surprising. I don't think this could have been a teenage line because it's a 6-cell line and the triangular number for 6 is 21. So this had to add up to at least 21. Anyway, but for this line definitely adds up to now 20 or 30 something. And so does this line, which again, but it was always going to actually. But also, where's 1 in row 6? One of 3 places. Okay, so that's not done it either, I don't think. Have we got this? Yeah, we've got the same though here, haven't we? We've got loads of dominoes in columns. We've got brunette split ends in columns 4 and 7, which can't add up to 20 something. So there's another X-swing of 1s in these cells. Those cells have to contain a 1 in columns 4 and 7, because these all must be teenage numbers. So now this digit is not a 1 using our earlier logic, because we've got 1s in these cells. If this was to be a 1, well, you couldn't put a 1 in one of these positions, which would make these lines in theory add up to at least 20 something each. Okay. I mean, okay, let's just think about that for a second, because the secret tells us that 15 is too big for these cells. If these were a 1-5 pair, so each of these added up to 15, then we'd have 45 just from these 6 cells, but we know the whole column is 45. So we know that is, well, can it be 14? No, it can't be 14 either, because 14 would imply that the dominoes add to 42, which means the other digits are meant to only add up to 3, but there are 3 of them, so they must add up to at least 6, because if we populate these cells with the minimum we can, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, so 14 is not going to work either. So this, I'm going to check 13 in a minute, but it's either 13 or 12, but so's this one. So we might, okay, if we can rule out 3, we've got a 1-2 pair. Yeah, and that's not deadly because we could get a 1 or this is going to be it. So if we get, so why doesn't 13 work? Oh, it nearly doesn't work. If this were, imagine it was 13, so each domino here adds up to 13, then we've got 39 in the green cells, which means we have to have 6 in these cells, which would make this have to be a 2. Oh, hang on. Okay, well, if that did do that, this one couldn't do that because this would be a 2 as well. Hang on. What's going on? So if this is 13, this is 2. If this is 12, those add up to 36, plus 1 plus 2 is 39, and this would be a 6. Right, so this pair of digits is either 2 or 6, because these column 7 and column 4 have the same property. They've all got 3 dominoes in them that have to add up to 12 or 13, and now we know that actually these are different. One of these is 12, one of these is 13, because if they were both 12, for example, you'd have to put 6 here and 6 here in column, in row 4 in these columns. So now, okay, so now there's an X-wing on 2s. Oh, well, there is, but I don't know where it goes. Because I now know that one of these 4 cells is definitely a 2, and one of these 2 cells is definitely a 2. So imagine this was a 2, then this would be a 2, and you couldn't put any more 2s in any of these cells. But the thing is, it's a weird pattern because I don't know where the 2 goes. So hang on. So I've definitely got an X-wing on 1s, and I've got a sort of floating X-wing on 2s. That's beautiful. Right. So now let's go back to row 4, where one of the thoughts I'd had was that this could have been 21. It can't be 21 now, because 2 can't go in either of the wing cells. So these both sum to a teenage number. There's a 1 in one of these, and it will be the tens digit. So we can do... Well, can we though? Can we do maths on this row? Let's just try and work that out. So we know one of these is a 1. Let's just say it's that one, just so that we can crystallize our thinking. What we're saying is that this sums to 10x, where 10x is 1, plus y, where this is y. So this is 10x plus y. This is 10x plus y, so that's 20x plus 2y. But that's x, so that's 21x plus 3y is the overall expression. 21x plus 3y is how this row breaks down. But we know that x is 1, so it's 21 plus 3y equals 45. So 3y equals 24, so y equals 8. There we go. There we go. That is actually quite useful. So this is a 1-8 pair. 8. So 18. Let's just so 8. Yes. Okay. So it's very similar to this one actually. Oh, could I have done that? Is there some clever way? I should have known that. No, because I didn't know that this wasn't 21. I didn't. It's just interesting, isn't it? You have 2 lines, and you split the 36 that line adds up to into 2, and then you have 18 or 1 plus 8 more, whereas here you had 3 plus 6 more. I think this will be popular with people who like arithmetic, this puzzle, and therefore it's popular with me. But now I don't know what to do. Is it... I don't know. Where am I meant to look now, Marty? Is this obvious? It probably is somehow. I've got various length 6 lines I could consider. That one, but there's an overlap in the perimeter there, so that one feels complicated. This one. So I've got 2 length 5 lines I've not looked at. So it's probably one of the length 6 lines. Neither of which... Oh, but we knew that anyway. I was going to say neither of which is teenage. Oh, I see. That one is interesting because I know the gap cell. Yeah, okay, let's check this one first because I know this cell. When I say I know it, it's limited, which this one isn't. So in this row, we could do some mathematics involving the edges, but we know nothing about this cell, so this column's probably better. Let's try that. So how does it work? Well, again, if this is x and this is y, then the column is expressible. This line will be 10x plus y, where x is the tens digit. So the column overall is going to be 11x plus 2y plus this digit. 11x plus 2y plus 4 or 5 equals 45. So what does that tell us? 11x plus 2y. So if... I'm not sure which is the best way to go. Let's try 2 first. So if we go 11x, that would be 22. Plus 2y. Okay. If we use 2, we know that this whole bundle of cells is even, don't we? Because we've got 11x plus 2y is the sum of all those cells. And once we times 11 by 2, we turn it into an even total. And 2y is always going to be even. So this would be odd in that situation, in order to make sure the whole column sums to 45. So if this line sums up to a 20-something number, we're going to have 11x, so we're going to have 22. This is going to be odd, I said, didn't I? So that would be 27. So 45 minus 27 is 18, and 18 is equal to 2y, so y would be 9. So this would be a 2-9 pair. And that might be okay, actually. Let's try 3 instead. So if we're on 3, then we've got 11x is 33, which is odd now. So this becomes even by parity to make sure the column adds up to the right number. So we've got 33, 37. So 45 minus 37 is 8. So we've got 2y. 2y equals 8, so y equals 4. Now that doesn't work, because you'd have 4 here, and then you'd have 34 in the edges. Let me just double check that. So 34 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 is 11. So that is what happened, but you'd have a 3-4 pair here. You'd have 2 4s in the column. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So the greens have to be 29. So we avoid having 2 4s in the column, and this digit is definitely a 5, and that's our first digit. So we get a 5, a 4. No, I was about to say a 29. The 29, I thought it might do something here, but... oh, bother. I don't know then. I don't know if we've really improved our position down here, although 9 is very large to be involved, I would think, in this row. I now know there's no 2s in those cells. I know there's no 4. I mean, it's a fascinating puzzle, this. So, okay. This is a length 6 line, so it could add up to 20-something, it could add up to 30-something. It can't add up to 40-something, because if it did, let's say it was 41, these 3 digits would have to add up to only 4, but there are 3 different numbers there. We've already said the triangular number for 3 is 6, so we can't have this line adding up to more than 39. So, if it does add up to a 30-something number, the 3 would have to go here, wouldn't it? Because this is a 2 or a 9. So, okay. Although we get a 3 in the corner from that, these 2 cells would be a 1-2 pair, and that would make this a 9. So if you do have 3 in the corner, we can't sing for this because it's not valid, but if there was 3 in the corner, No, that's nonsense. It's absolute. It fails miserably. It fails miserably because if we have 3 in the corner, because this is now a 9, because this is a 1-2 pair, then we've got 39 on the line, plus 3 plus 9 plus that digit is meant to equal 45. Well, we're so broken, it's unbelievable. So, okay. So we know that this line adds up to a 2-something number. Now, we don't know where the 2 goes. It might go there, but it might go there. But either way, this is now 1-3 pair, and 2 is in one of those cells. Right, so if this is a 1-3 pair, isn't this a 1-2 pair up here? Because we know that one of these digits is 1, and we know that on one side of column, we know column 4 or column 7 is adding up to, one of them's 13, one of them's 12. So we do need a 2 in these 4 cells. Oh, that's it. That's beautiful. Right, I've got a 1-2 here. That's making this not 2. So that's 9. That's 2. So now that presumably does something, he says. Well, we're going to have to do the maths on this, aren't we? I think we are. I think I'm going to have to think very hard about this cell. I'm just trying to see if there's anything cleverer than this I can do, but there probably isn't. In fact, that digit is now by Sudoku at least a 5, isn't it? Because it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's at least a 5. And how does it work? How does the maths work? So this is 25, say, plus 2 plus 5 again, so plus 7 in that instance. No, that really won't work. I think this is going to have to be quite a big number. Ideally, it would be 8, because that would fix this. Right, let's just think this through, though. So mathematically, do I know the parity of this? Is that something that I'm going to find out? I think I am, aren't I? Because effectively, this whole 11x plus 2y idea, we now know that our 11x is an even number in this instance because x is 2. Plus 2y is even. So the gapped cell, so in other words, these 8 cells are adding to an even number. So this is an odd number. It's not 1, 3 or 5. So this is 7 or 9. This is beautiful. It's really interesting, isn't it? So, but now I can really limit what's going on. Because effectively what we're now saying is 11x plus 2y, where 11x is known to be 22, is equal to 45. So I've got 20, so 11x. So I've got 20, let's say this was 7. 22, 29. So this would be an 8. Because 16 would be equal to 2y. But if this is 9, I've got 31, I've got 14. So I've got just to do that slowly, I've got 11x, which is 22, plus 9 is 31. The difference between 31 and 45 is 14, which has to be equal to 2y, so this would be 7. So either this is 9, 7, or it's 7, 8, and that doesn't tell me what this is. Oh, that's so distressing. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. Wow. I thought that was can definitely do it. Right, so now I really... Is it this one now? I think it's this one. Looks a terrifying line. If that's a 20-something line, the 2 would have to go here. Which, I don't know if that's fine or not. These, I mean, I've got dominoes here, which don't feel like, but it's the same in this row, isn't it? If whatever those two are, I've still got a free domino to think about. And free dominoes do not feel to me like the most natural way. Maybe I can do better with this row. These must be a bit restricted, aren't they? I know these are teenagers. But how big or small can they be? Because I've still got okay, maybe that's where I should have been looking. Because I've got 3 digits there. So if we said, let's say this was 15, because I can do the maths on that quickly. These would be 30. So we'd be on 36. These digits would have to add up to, they would have to add up to 9. Without using 1, they would have to be 2, 3, 4. That works beautifully. Okay, so this might be 15. What about 16? Maybe. 16. I see, yes, 16 won't work for a simple reason. 16 won't work because you can't make these dominoes unique. 16 only has one way of making the domino work. It would have to be 7, 9 in both cases. So it's not bigger than 15. What's the smallest it can be? It can't be 11 or 10 because we can't write double 1 or 1 0 into the row. So it's 12. It's 12, 13, 14 or 15. But that's not 4. This isn't 2 or 5. This one doesn't seem to be restricted at all. And how would it work? Okay, let's try 12. This would be 24. 25, 26, 27. These digits would add up to 18. Oh, that's very easy to do. Oh, that's distressing. Right, okay. Wow. Right. Okay, so I really am not sure what to do next then. Is this in any way obvious? It might be, but I didn't feel like I got as much value as I ought to have got from getting this 2-9 pair. So perhaps that's something I should be considering. Although I don't immediately see how to do that. I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing this, am I? 30. Yeah, what about if that is a 30 number? Is that going to work? Might do. 30 is a big old chunk of change, though, isn't it, for this? And then how would the maths work? We'd have 11x plus 2y again, but then we'd be having 33 plus 2y, which couldn't be a 1, because we've got this x-wing of 1 stopping either of these digits being a 1. So it would be at least 32. So it would be 33 plus 2y is 37. And then the other 2 digits would have to add up to 8, which would, but we'd have used 3 and 2 in the row. So the only way that would work is if it was a 1-7 pair. Well, that doesn't actually work on the specifics. So I can rule out 32. How much bigger than 32 could you do in row 2? If it wasn't 32, 33 won't work because we can't put double 3 in the perimeter. 34 might work. But 34, the maths gets really, really challenging. Because you'd have, using our 11x plus 2y idea, you'd have 33 plus 8 for 41. And then the other two digits in the row would have to add up to 4, which they couldn't do because they'd have to be a 1-3 pair, and that would repeat the 3. And 35 is not going to work either, is it? Because 33 plus 10 is 43. These would have to add up to 2. Right, so I'm going to use this then. I don't think you can put 3 in a winged digit here. This is a bit complicated, but the reason is the only 3 that works in practice is 32. But how do you put 32 into the blues? You'd have to put the 3 here. Sorry, the 3 here, and this would have to be a 2. And now, rather beautifully, this domino, I think by my maths, has to add up to 8. How are we going to do that? Because this is going to become a 1. And we can't use 1, 7, we can't use 2, 6, and we can't use 3, 5. I just want to check my maths is right on that. So this is 10x plus y. So these cells are 11x plus 2y. 33, 37. So this, to get us to 45, that has to add up to 8, and it won't work. So what does that mean? Well, it's going to be a 20 number is what it's going to mean, which is still useful. It's going to give us a digit, because this line can't be it can't be a teenage number because of the x-wing on 1s. There are no 1s in these two cells. So it is a 20-something number. We can, oh, hang on. That I didn't know, did I? Because that's now going to be a 2. That's going to be a 1. That's going to be a 2. That's going to be a 3. That's going to be a 1. That's okay. That's okay. And I'm now going to think about this digit in a moment, but I just want to think further about whether or not this is... So I now know these little dominoes in column 7 add to 13, and these little dominoes, oh, that's a 6, and that's a 2, so this isn't a 2. What does that do? Probably nothing. I'm not seeing it. If it does anything, I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, each of these dominoes adds to 12. So they are going to be in some order a 3, 9, a 4, 8, and a 5, 7. Which, wow, okay. And in this column, we've got 13 dominoes. So we're going to have a 4, 9, a 5, 8, and a 6, 7. No memeing. Right, okay, so that's very distressing. Oh, actually, I know one thing I could do here. 18 is my total for these thingies, so that's got to be a 7, 9 pair. This line has to add to 18, and I've got a 2 on it. So those have to add up to 16. The only way of doing that with Sudoku is 7, 9. So these digits are, I want to say 3, 4, 5. That seems to be true by Sudoku, doesn't it? So this one is a 3. It sees 4, 5 in the column. So this one is a 4, 5. So this is not a 4. And does this 3 do anything? I know one of these is a 3. I know one, say that was a 3. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It probably does something. Okay, let's think about this digit. So what do we now know about this row? We know that this is contributing the tens number. So this is adding up. So we've sort of got 22 plus 2 lots of this digit. But that digit, that can't be 1 or 2. That could be a 3. That's the least it could be. So 22, 28. Oh, that's horrible. That could be an 8, 9 pair. I don't think this is under any pressure at all. Let's try it with 8 here. Does that break for some reason? 22 plus 16. I don't think it will. It's 38, isn't it? These would have to add up to 7, which they could even do there with a 3-4 pair, although you have to do it in a very specific order. Okay, this is not good. Let's try this row. This is the row I've been avoiding because I don't want to think about that cell. Okay, so what do we now know about? Right, well, I'll tell you one thing we know that we didn't know before about this row, and that is that this, presumably, is a 30-something number. Oh, that's huge. Oh, hang on, I don't even have to do the maths. Oh, Marty, you're a clever man. You are a clever man. Right. Yeah, this is how to do this. So I look at the row. One of those blue cells is a 3, because neither can be 1, neither can be 2, and this line cannot add up to 40-something, because then these 3 digits would have to add up to 5, and that won't work. So one of these is a 3. Now, why do I care about that? Well, it's because I know one of those is a 3 in my 36 pair, or in my 3-6 pair. So I've got a 3 in one of these blues and a 3 in one of these blues, and that is an X-wing on 3s. Now, what did we understand about X-wings when we looked at 1s? We know there are no more 3s in column 1 and no more 3s in column 9. So these 2 digits now can't be 3s anymore. Now that only has the option of being a 1, and that has only the option, once this is a 1, of being a 5. So it is 15. This is now an 8. That's a 1. These add up to 15. Okay, so one of these is a 6-9 pair. That must be this one because of this 6. So that's got to be a 7-8 pair. There are only 2 ways of making dominoes add up to 15 in Sudoku. This is 2, 3, 4, which is what we worked out before. The 2 of which is here. These are 13 dominoes, so that's going to have to be 4 because we can't put 3, 10 onto it. So that's 3, 9, 3, 7, 9. Oh, it would be absolutely lovely if this just falls now, because it's resisted manfully and been absolutely lovely. But now if it gave up, it would be perfect. I was about to say I've made a mistake, but no, that can be 2, 7, I think. So these digits are 1, 4, 5, and that's not a 1. And oh, well, this is a 1. It sees 4, 5 in the column. And who knows what this does, but probably something. 12. Oh, that can add up to 12. That's okay. It's probably this number. I'm not sure, but it probably is. What do we need in this column? 4, 6, 7, I'm going to claim. Okay. And in this column, in column 9, we need 7, 8, 9, look. And that's not 9. So 9 we can place in column 9. So let's think about the maths here. What is going on in this row? Well, if this was a 4, then we would know this line added up to 34, plus the 3 would already be included within the 34, so we'd then add the 4 again to get to 38, and these digits would add up to 7. Oh dear, that looks very possible, doesn't it? Okay, let's try a different. Let's do it differently. So if this was 36 on the other hand, we get 36 here plus 6. This would be a 1, 2 pair. No, that might also work. I think 37's not going to work because that's going to become too small. It's 37. If this adds up to 37 plus 7 is 44, this would have to be, these 2 cells would have to add up to 1. So we can get rid of one option from here, which is the 7. Okay, I'm going to have to do this more carefully, aren't I? So if this was 34, plus 4 is 38, these add up to 7. not using a 3-4 pair. So they'd either be 37, 34, 38. So they'd either be a 1-6 pair or they'd be a 2-5 pair. Sorry, I'm doing slowly because I'm trying to see if I can rule any of these options out. Or if this is 6, this is a 1-2 pair. Oh, that's so rotten. I don't know then. Okay. Which line have I? I must have missed a line. Oh, I know what it'll be. It'll be this line, won't it? That line looks exceptionally difficult because it can't be a 40 line. So this can't be its tens digit. So its tens digit is coming from here, and it's going to have to be a 3 because it can't be a 1 or a 2. So this is a 3. It doesn't help me with this domino. So this adds up to 30 something, and it's at least 34 because this digit is at least a 4. So this is at least 34 plus 3 is 37. So the maximum size of those 3 digits is 8. Right. So this can't be 6 or 5 because that will, once we add it to this digit, it'll get too big. This digit has to be very small. It's but it can't be 2 or 3. It could be 1. It can't be 4. If it's 4, once we add it to 5, we've broken that 8 cap that we just said. I think this is a 1. I think that's all it can be. That's lovely again, isn't it? Marty is so clever. So this is 1. This is 2. I still don't think I know what this is. I'm going to have to rethink that. But now this this can't be a 1-2 pair anymore. So that's got to be a 4. And now the mathematics of this row was 34 plus 4 is 38. These add up to 7. So that's 5. So that's 5. That's 4. One of these 2 digits is a 4. Probably this one. But we can now, I think, do the maths on this. Because we've got 30 something for this line. Plus all of these digits, which add up to, I want to say 11. So 34. That's what this has to add up to. So that is 4. And that's 5. And that's 4. And presumably this does something. In row 9, I now have got 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s to place. And that's not 9. Or, oh, that's a 6. It's naked. It sees everything else. Okay, so now we should look at this cell, shouldn't we? This domino adds up to 13, and it's not 9, 4, and it's not 6, 7. So this is a 5, 8 domino, which I can do. So this is a 6, 7 domino, which I can't do, but never mind. This is now a 7 in the corner. That's an 8. That's a 9. That's an 8. By Sudoku, of all things. This is a 9. This is a 6. That means this is a 6 in Sudoku in box 1, so that's a 7. Now that's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 7, that's an 8. It's lovely this, isn't it? It's just lovely. 5, 6 pair in the row, so that's 6, that's 5. We need to put 9 and 4 in here, so we can do that. We need to put 1 and 2 in here. Somehow we can't do that. That's bizarre. Right. So where do we look now? 2 and 7 we can fill in these columns. So in this we need 6 and 8, which we can do. These are 1 and 3, which again we can't do somehow. I don't think I ever really worked out the maths of row 2, but anyway, what do we need here? 3, 5, 9. So that's 9 by Sudoku. Oh, it's going to, no, that is good. That is good for this cell. Because this domino adds up to 12. It can't be 3, 9, so it's got to be 5, 7. That's got to be 3. Therefore, this is 8, 4. This is 3, 9. We know the order. So 9, 3, 3, 1, 1, 2. 2 here by Sudoku. 7 here by Sudoku. 5 here by Sudoku. We need 4, 6, 7. So 7 here. 4, 6. I know we need to put an 8 up here, and it looks like a 1. What a beautiful puzzle. Just how clever is Marty Sears? The answer is prodigiously clever. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Really brilliant, Marty. Again, I mean, it just goes without saying. That is it's quite arithmetic heavy, that one, but in the most lovely way. The way the numbers interact and the choices Marty's made to sort of lead you through the perimeter digits is beautiful. A little bit of an X-Wing refresher as well, just to go with it. And a very happy Valentine's Day to you all. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.